Welcome to my channel. Today we are going to discuss about the remaining problems in Z transform and DTFT from the fourth unit. Okay, so already we discussed in the previous video. So we solved some of the MCQ questions from the Z transform. So now we are going to discuss about the remaining thing. Okay, so the first question you see the Z transform of the sequence X of NS. Okay, so the four formula is given. The Z transform of X of N. So you know it can be represented as capital X of Z. Okay, so the capital X of Z is equal to summation n equal to minus infinity to infinity x of n z power minus n. Okay, so this is the correct or not? X of z equal to summation n equal to minus infinity to infinity x of n z power n. Okay, so this is wrong. Then the another one is the x of z is equal to sorry. So x of n is equal to the thing. Okay, so here it's x of n is equal to summation n is from minus infinity to infinity x of n z power minus n. Then one more formula is x of z is equal to summation n equal to minus infinity to infinity x of n z power n plus 1. Okay, so in this fourth thing, which one is the correct? So the z transform of the sequence x of n is the first one. The capital X of z is equal to summation n equal to minus infinity to infinity x of n z power minus n. So this is the formula in order to find the z transform of any discrete sequence x of n. Okay. Then the next question, the Z transform can be applied for dash, continuous time signal, discrete time signal, both A and B, none of the above. Okay, so Z transform and DTFT can be applied only for the discrete time signal. So in order to analyze the continuous time signal, we have to use either Laplace transform or Fourier transform. So in order to analyze the discrete time signal, we have to use the DTFT, discrete time Fourier transform, and one more thing is Z transform. Okay, so the B is the answer. Then the next question, the Z transform of 3, 0, 0, 0, 4 zeros, then 6, 1, minus 4. And 6 as a reference variable is. So the Z transform of this sequence, and here the 6 is a reference variable. That is 6 is a reference variable means in that question, so there will be an arrow is given under this 6. Okay, so we have to find. So here the arrow, I will that is a instead of this arrow, here they are mentioning it as a 6 as a reference variable means the 6 is the value of the sequence x of n at n equal to 0. Okay, so the Z transform of this sequence we have to find out. Okay, so already you know the Z transform formula. The x of z is equal to summation n equal to minus infinity to infinity x of n z power minus n. Okay, this is the formula. So in this formula, we have to substitute the value of x of n. So here the given x of n is some finite duration sequence. Okay, so that's why first we have to see the length, the index of this sequence. So index means, so this x of n sequence, it will available from the n value is from which one to which one we have to find out. Okay, so here the 6 is a reference variable. So 6 is a reference means this is the value of x of n at n equal to 0. So that means this 0 indicates x of minus 1. This 0 indicates x of minus 2. This is x of minus 3. This is x of minus 4. This 3 is the x of minus 5. Okay. So the n value, the index, the time index of the given x of n, it ranges from n equal to minus 5. So the lower index minus 5 to, then if this is n equal to 0 means, so the next one is at n equal to 1. That is x of 1 value is 1. Then this minus 4 is a x of 2 value. Okay. So that's why the index ranges from minus 5 to 2. Okay, so for the remaining interval, that is from minus 6 to minus infinity, the x of n is not at all available. Similarly, after 2, from 3 to infinity, the x of n is not at all available. So that's why you just find the index value. So summation n equal to minus 5 to 2 x of n is at power minus n. Okay, then next we have to expand this summation and we have to substitute this x of n value. So if you are expanding, so first to put n equal to minus 5 in this above formula. So x of minus 5 into z power minus of minus 5 plus 5. Okay. So what is the x of minus 5 value? This 3. This 3 is the x of minus 5 value. So that's why 3 into z power 5. Okay. Then plus put n equal to minus 4. So x of minus 4 into z power 4. What is x of minus 4? 0. So that's why simply I am writing 0. Then similarly put n equal to minus 3, at the time also 0. Then for n equal to minus 2, 0. N equal to minus 1 is also 0. Okay, so 4 zeros we have to put. Then plus 6 into, put n equal to 0 in this equation. So x of 0 into z power 0. So what is the value of x of 0? 6. Okay, so 6 into z power 0, it is 1. Then plus, next, this is the value of x of 1. Okay, so if you are expanding this, put n equal to 1 here means the 1 into z power minus 1. Okay, then put n equal to 2. So x of 2 into z power minus 2. So what is x of 2 value? Minus 4. So minus 4 into z power minus 2. Okay, so this is the thing. So after cancelling this 0, we will get 3 into z power 5 plus the constant 6 plus z inverse minus 4 into z power minus 2. So this is the z transform of the given signal. So you can see z power 3 z power 5 plus 6 plus z inverse minus z power minus 2 for the z value between 0 to infinity. Okay, the next one. So this is the answer is correct, but here the modulus of z is in between, that is 0 less than or equal to modulus of z less than infinity. This is the wrong. So for the z value between 0 to infinity, so 3 z power 5 plus 6 plus z power minus 1 minus 4 into z power minus 2 for the z value between 0 to infinity is the correct answer. Okay, so the next one, the z transform of the sequence x of n is equal to 1 comma 0 minus 1 0 1 minus 1. First one as a reference variable. Okay, so first one, this is the first one. So here the arrow will be given. Okay, so this is the given sequence. So what is the meaning of this arrow? This arrow indicates this is the value of x of n at n equal to 0. This is the that is at the origin value. Okay, so this is the origin value means what is this 0? It is a x of 1. This is x of 2. This is x of 3, x of 4, x of 5. So the given x of n, it ranges from n equal to 0 to n equal to 5. Okay, so we have to find the z transform. So the same thing. So as per the z transform definition, x of z is equal to summation n equal to minus infinity to infinity x of n z power minus n. Okay, so here the summation limit we have to restrict to n equal to 0 to n equal to 5. Only our sequence is available. So you just restrict the summation limit is from 0 to 5 x of n z power minus n. Okay, so you just expand it. If you are expanding, first one x of 0 into z power 0. What is the value of x of 0? 1. So 1 into z power 0 plus x of 1 into z power minus 1. So x of 1 value is 0. So 0 into anything 0. Similarly, x of 2 into z power minus 2, x of 3 into z power minus 3, etc. up to x of n equal to 5. Okay, and substitute these values. Here we will get the answer as 1. This is 0. Okay, this one is a 0. Then minus z power minus 2. This is also 0. Then plus z power minus 4 minus z power minus 5. So this is the answer. So 1 minus z power minus 2 plus z power minus 4 minus z power minus 5. So B is the answer. Okay. So similarly, the next question is also the thing, find the z transform of the causal sequence x of n equal to this one as a reference variable. Okay. So sometime in the x of n sequence and this reference is also not mentioning. So simply instead of any arrow mark, simply they are giving means you have to take this first sequence as a reference sequence. That is, this first data 1 will be a n equal to 0 value we have to take and we have to solve it. Okay. So as per similar to the previous problem. So here you see this is the n equal to 0, n equal to 1, n equal to 2, n equal to 3, n equal to 4, n equal to 5. So the given problem, it consisting of the x of n value from n equal to 0 to 5. So according to the definition of Z transform, the x of Z is equal to summation n equal to 0 to 5 x of n Z power minus n. So you just expand it and substitute the value of this x of n and find out the answer. So this is the answer. So A is the answer. 1 minus 2 in 1 minus 2 into Z power minus 2 plus 3 into Z power minus 3 plus 5 into Z power minus 4 plus 4 into Z power minus 5. Okay, this is the answer. So similar to this, we have to solve this problem. Okay, so one more problem is also given. So here you see, find the Z transform of anti-causal sequence. What does mean by anti-causal sequence? In the previous problem, find the Z transform of causal sequence. Causal sequence means, so here the full data is available in the positive time axis. Okay, so you see the x of n is available from n equal to 0 to n equal to 5. Okay, so the x of n signal is available in a positive time axis. That sequence is called as causal sequence or causal signal. Similarly, in this problem, find the Z transform of anti-causal. So anti-causal means the full x of n value is available in the negative time axis. Okay, so here the data is given as 4, 2, 3, minus 1, minus 2, 1. Here 1 as a reference variable. So this one as a reference variable. So what is the meaning of this one? This is the n equal to 0 value. So what is this minus 2? The minus 2 is the x of n value at n equal to minus 1. This is n equal to minus 2. This is n equal to minus 3, minus 4, minus 5. Okay. So the x of n is full and full available in the negative axis. So the sequence is said to be the anti-causal sequence. Okay. So here that is similarly, you just write the Z transform formula. And for this, what is the time index value? The n is from minus 5 to 0. Okay, so minus 5 to 0, x of n is at power minus n. So you just expand it and we have to substitute the value of the x of n. We will get the answer in a positive Z. Okay, if it is a causal sequence means, so the answer you see, answer is nothing but addition of Z power minus terms. If it is an anti-causal sequence, the x of Z answer, it should be a addition of Z power plus term. Okay, so this is the answer. So 4 Z power 5. So here you see the answer is in the anti-causal sequence. So the answer is A. Okay, 4 Z power 5 plus 2 Z power 4 plus 3 Z power 3 minus Z power 2 minus 2 Z plus 1. Okay, this is the answer. Okay, so from this problem, so there may be a chance to ask anyone question. Okay, find the Z transform of this finite duration sequence. Okay, so the next one, the reverse problem for this Z transform. Find the inverse Z transform of x of Z is equal to 4Z power 5 plus 2Z power 4 and this thing. So find the Z transform of, that is the previous problem. Okay, so I taken the answer for the previous problem as a input. So we have to find the inverse Z transform. So inverse Z transform means the process of calculating the time domain data from the Z domain answer. It is said to be the inverse Z transform. Okay, so in reverse procedure we have to follow. Okay, so or otherwise that is here no need of deriving the step thing. So only our thing is that we have to derive the answer x of n. Okay, so how can you derive the answer for this inverse Z transform means? So in this x of Z sequence, so first we have to that is arrange the given x of Z in the descending order of Z power. So already here the answer is like that only. Okay, 4 into Z power 5 plus 2 into Z power 4, 3 into Z power 2 minus 3 minus Z squared minus 2Z plus 1. Okay, so in descending order, that is in descending order of Z power 5, you have to arrange it. Okay, so already the problem is given like that only. Okay, so if the given sequence consisting of full and full positive Z means that is an anti-causal sequence. Okay, so already you know as per the previous problem. So full and full this data is available for the negative time axis only. Okay, so in that first you have to see any constant is there or not. You have to see. So here the constant is there, 1 is there. Okay, so that one we have to write the first. So what does this constant means? This constant indicates this is the value of x of n at n equal to 0. Okay, that constant indicates that is the value of x of n sequence at n equal to 0. Then before that, what is the value? Minus 2z is there. That is z power 1. Okay, z means z power 1. So the z power 1 coefficient, what is the coefficient? Minus 2. So that minus 2 you have to write before the n equal to 0 value. Okay, then before that, z power 2 coefficient. What is the z power 2 coefficient? It's a minus 1. Okay, then you just write z power 3 coefficient. What is the z power 3 coefficient? 3. Then z power 4 coefficient 2. Then z power 5 coefficient 1 you have to write. So this is the answer for inverse Z transform of our given thing. If positive Z is having, okay, full and full positive Z. So you see the answer 4 comma 2 comma 3 comma minus 1 minus 2 1, and this 1 as a reference variable. So A is the answer. Okay, so you see the answer, that is this question is reverse as that of this sixth problem. So what is the sixth one? You see 4 2 3 minus 1 minus 2 1, in 1 there is an arrow. So the same answer we got it. Okay, so this is the way in order to find the inverse Z transform. Okay, so similarly you see the next problem. Find the inverse Z transform of x of z is equal to 1 minus z power minus 2 z power minus 4 minus z power minus 5. So here full and full the x of z is having z power minus term. Okay, so this sequence, the corresponding, the time domain sequence, it may be a causal sequence. So what is causal? The signal is full and full having that is the value in the positive time axis. Okay, so similar to the previous, here we have to solve it. First we have to check any constant is there. Yes, the constant is there. You just write the constant 1. Okay, so under this constant, we have to put arrow. This arrow indicates this is the value of the sequence x of n at n equal to 0. Okay, next one, you just check any z power minus 1 term is there. So here there is no z power minus 1 term. So what is the meaning? The coefficient for z power minus 1 is 0. Okay, comma. Then z power minus 2 coefficient is there. It is a minus 1. Okay. Then z power minus 3 coefficient is there or not in that? No. So what's the meaning? The coefficient of z power minus 3 is 0. Then z power minus 4 coefficient 1. Then z power minus 5 coefficient minus 1. So this is the answer. 1 comma 0 minus 1 0 1 minus 1. Then in the first one there is an arrow mark. So you see the A is the answer. Okay, so in the second thing, the second one reference variable, this one reference variable, no. Okay, this is the correct thing. Okay, similarly we have to solve it for inverse Z transform problem. Okay, then the next question, find the Z transform of x of n equal to 1 by to the power n u of n convolution with 1 by 4 to the power n u of n. Okay, so here we have to find the Z transform of convolution of the two sequence. Okay, so in order to solve this problem, there are so many that is the properties of the Z transform we studied. Okay, so in the previous video, in that there is a one important property is that convolution property. So as per convolution property, what is the convolution property of Z transform? The two time domain signal, if you are taking convolution in time domain means, if you want to find the Z transform of this two convoluted time domain signal, answer is that it's a multiplication of individual Z transform. Okay, so you see x1 of n convolution with x2 of n, the Z transform answer is that capital X1 of Z into x2 of Z. Okay, so here x1 of Z is the Z transform of the first sequence. X2 of Z is the Z transform of the second sequence. So if you want to take a convolution in time domain means it is transformed into multiplication in a Z domain. Okay, this is the thing. So here, what is the first sequence? 1 by to the power n u of n. The second sequence 1 by 4 to the power n u of n. Okay, so you see these two sequences are in the format of a power n u of n. So already you know the a power n u of n signal, the Z transform answer is that. Okay, for a power n u of n, the Z transform answer is Z by Z minus a. Okay, this is the standard answer. You just remember it. A power n u of n signal is having the Z transform Z by Z minus a. So according to this, 1 by to the power n u of n means the answer is Z by Z minus 1 by 2. So you take it as capital X1 of Z. Similarly, the X2 of n is 1 by 4 to the power n u of n. So the Z transform answer is Z by Z minus 1 by 2. So according to this convolution property, the Z transform of the convolution of the two signal is that the multiplication of this individual. So Z by Z minus 1 by 2 into Z by Z minus 1 by 4. This is the answer. So here you see Z by Z minus 1 by 2 into Z by Z minus 1 by 4. Okay. So the multiplication. So in the second thing, addition is given. Here convolution is given. Here subtraction is given. So the last three is wrong. The first one is correct. If you are taking convolution in time domain, in Z transform, it is transformed into multiplication. Okay, that is the thing. There is a convolution property. Okay, so next one. What is the Z transform of x1 of n asterisk with x2 of n? What does mean by asterisk? This is the convolution symbol. Okay, so according to this convolution property, the Z transform of x1 of n convolution with x2 of n is the capital X1 of Z multiplied with x2 of Z according to this convolution property. Okay, so A is the answer. Then the next one, which one is initial value theorem in Z transform? So in Z transform, so there is two important theorems available in Z transform. One is initial value theorem and another one is final value theorem. And already this initial value and final value theorem is available in Laplace transform for continuous time signal. Similarly, in order to find out the initial value and the final value of discrete time signal, we are using this property of Z transform. Okay, so these two properties are available in Z transform and Z transform and Laplace transform. Okay, so it is not available in DTFT. So the initial value means x of n value at n equal to 0. So the initial value is calculated using the formula is that x of 0 equal to limit Z tends to infinity capital X of Z. This is the formula. This is the initial value theorem. X of 0 equal to limit Z tends to infinity capital X of Z. This is the answer. Okay, so you just remember it. So all theorems already, that is the properties of Z transform already we discussed, we posted so many videos in that 4th unit. Okay, so if you want to study the properties of Z transform in a detailed manner means, so you go and check in the signals and system playlist unit wise, the videos are there, or otherwise I will give link for those videos in the description box also, you can see. Okay, and the next one, final value theorem. The final value theorem is used to calculate the final value of the sequence x of n. That is at n equal to infinity, what is the value for x of n? Okay, in order to calculate x of infinity answer, we are using the theorem, final value theorem. Okay, so as per this theorem, so which one is correct? Okay, so the A is the correct. That is the x of infinity is calculated by limit Z tends to 1, Z minus 1 into x of Z. So here in the remaining thing, one correction is there. Okay, so in the second one, Z into x of Z. In the third one, Z tends to 0. In fourth one, Z tends to 0. So the correct one is limit Z tends to 1, Z minus 1 into x of Z. This is the final value theorem. Okay, that is the final value of the x of n is calculated using this formula. Okay, this is the final value theorem. And using this initial and final value theorem, so there may be a chance to ask a question also. Okay, 2 more problem. So here you see, find x of infinity. What is x of infinity? This is the final value. Okay, find the x of infinity value if the capital X of Z is equal to this one. Okay, so for one sequence, the Z transform answer is given. You just find the final value. Okay, so according to this final value theorem, we have to solve this problem. Okay, so what is the final value theorem? So you should know, in order to solve this problem, first you should know the final value theorem of Z transform. Okay, so as per the final value theorem of Z transform, the X of infinity is calculated by limit Z tends to 1, Z minus 1 into X of Z. Okay, so limit Z tends to 1, Z minus 1 into, what is the X of Z? The X of Z is given as Z plus 1 by Z minus 0.6 the whole squared. Okay, so in this, so you may check any terms are cancelling from numerator or denominator, you just check. So here no terms will cancel. Okay, so that's why in this product, we have to substitute Z as a 1. Okay, wherever the Z is available, you just substitute simply 1. So here 1 minus 1, it is 0. So here 1 place 1, 2. So here 1 minus some value. So here this 1 minus 1, it is 0. So 0 multiplied with any value, 0. So the final value of the given problem, it is 0. Okay, so the final value, it is a 0. So you should know the theorem, limit Z tends to 1, Z minus 1 into X of Z. This is the formula. So in that formula, you just substitute the X of Z value and substitute Z is equal to 1. Similarly, this is the initial value. Find X of 0. What is X of 0? Initial value. If the X of Z is equal to Z plus 3 by Z plus 1 into Z plus 2. Okay. So in order to calculate this one, we have to use the initial value theorem. Okay. So as per the initial value theorem, so the initial value theorem, it states that the X of 0 is calculated by limit Z tends to infinity X of Z. Okay, this is the formula. X of 0 equal to limit Z tends to infinity X of Z. So before that, that is if you are substituting, so this is the X of Z. So in this X of Z value, if you are substituting Z equal to infinity in directly in numerator and denominator, means we will get the answer is the numerator infinity plus 3 infinity. Similarly in denominator also infinity. So infinity divided by infinity, it's a indeterminate answer. So that's why, so we have to make that is we have to take, so here you see the X of Z is equal to Z plus 3 by Z plus 1 Z plus 2. So from the numerator you just take Z as a common. Okay, so if you are taking Z outside, we have to write it as 1 plus 3 by Z. Similarly from Z plus 1 you take 1 Z as common, plus from Z plus 2 you take 1 Z as a common. We have to write Z squared into 1 plus 1 by Z, 1 plus 2 by Z. Okay, so here this 1 Z and this Z squared in 1 Z will cancel. So we will get the answer like this. Okay, so in that we have to substitute Z is equal to infinity. Okay, so if you are substituting Z is equal to infinity, in numerator you see 1 plus 3 divided by infinity. So 3 divided by infinity is 0. Divided by, in denominator here infinity. Okay, then 1 plus 1 by infinity, it is a 1. Then 1 plus 2 by infinity, it is a 1. Okay, so 1 divided by infinity, the answer is 0. Okay, so 1 divided by infinity, the answer is 0. So we will get the initial value of this signal as a 0. So 0 is the answer. D is the answer. So maximum we have to cancel the Z. After that we have to substitute Z is equal to infinity. Okay, similarly in previous problem also, you can take any part as a common. We have to cancel it. First we have to check. Then we have to substitute limit is equal to Z is equal to 1. Okay, so this is the initial value theorem. Okay, initial value of the particular signal. Then the next question, the ROC of the sequence X of n equal to 0.8 to the power n u of n plus 0.4 to the power n u of n. Okay, we have to find the ROC. So here the given sequence, it consisting of the addition of two causal sequences. Okay, so already you know the sequence is in the structure of a power n u of n. So already you know what is the a power n u of n. For a power n u of n, the Z transform can be written as Z by Z minus 0.8. That is A, or 1 divided by 1 minus A into Z inverse. Okay, so we may write like that. So the first sequence 0.8 to the power n u of n, the Z transform answer is 1 by 1 minus 0.8 Z inverse, or it can be written as Z by Z minus 0.8. Similarly, for the second sequence, Z by Z minus 0.4, or 1 by 1 minus 0.4 Z inverse. Okay, so this is the total Z transform of the given sequence. So in order to find the combined ROC, so first we have to find the ROC for the first signal. So for first signal, what is the ROC? Already you know, for a power n u of n problem, what is the ROC? The modulus of Z greater than A. So here the A value is 0.8. So the modulus of Z greater than 0.8 is the ROC1. Similarly, for the second signal, the ROC is modulus of Z greater than A. Here, what is the value of A? 0.4. Okay. So as per this, so you see the first ROC is that this is the 0.8. Okay, 0.8 circle. So the ROC1 is the exterior part of the circle having radius 0.8. Okay, this is ROC1. Okay, this one. Then ROC2 is the exterior part of the circle having radius 0.4. Okay, this is the 0.4 circle. So outside this portion, all and all ROC2. So what is the overall ROC? So the overall ROC is the intersection of the two ROCs. So in which region the two ROCs are overlapped? Above 0.8 only overlapped. So that's why the ROC is that Z greater than 0.8. Okay, so the Z greater than 0.8 is the ROC. So the option A is the correct answer. Modulus of Z greater than 0.8 is the ROC for this combined problem. Okay, if the sequence consisting of two sequences means the ROC is that the overlapping region of the two ROC1 and ROC2. So in this, the ROC1, ROC2 overlapped in which condition means modulus of Z greater than 0.8. So the first is the answer. Okay, then the next one, DTFT, we are going to see DTFT means discrete time Fourier transform. Similar to Z transform, the DTFT is also used to analyze the discrete time signal. Okay, so which one is an analysis equation in DTFT? That is analysis equation means that is the formula in order to convert the time domain signal x of n into frequency domain is called as analysis equation. So that is the DTFT formula is called as analysis equation. So which one? Capital X of e power j omega equal to summation n equal to minus infinity to infinity x of n e power j omega n. This is not a correct. This one is correct. Okay, that is e power minus j omega n. This is the DTFT analysis equation. Okay, then which one is a synthesis equation in DTFT? Synthesis equation is nothing but the formula in order to convert the Fourier transform into back the time domain. That is the inverse DTFT formula. The inverse DTFT formula is called a synthesis equation. Okay, so which one is correct means the option A is the correct. So you just remember it, the inverse DTFT, the x of n is calculated by 1 by 2 pi integration over minus pi to pi x of e power j omega into e power j omega n d omega. This is the correct formula. In the next thing, that is the e power, sorry, in thing minus pi to here, the integration limit is minus infinity to infinity is given. So this is not a correct. So in this e power minus j is given. Okay. So the correct answer is 1 by 2 pi integration over 1 minus pi to pi x of e power j omega e power j omega n d omega. This is the correct answer for inverse DTFT. Then next question, the discrete time Fourier transform can be applied for continuous time signal, discrete signal, both A and B, none of the above, discrete signal. Okay, DTFT and Z transform is applied only for discrete time signals and discrete time system, not continuous time signal. Okay, then the DTFT of the sequence del of x of n equal to del of n. Okay. For unit sample sequence, the DTFT answer is 1. Okay, so already we solved these problems in a separate video. So you just remember the standard answers for any transform. If you are taking either Z transform or DTFT or Laplace or Fourier for unit impulse signal, the answer is 1. Okay, so you have to remember it. And what is the Z DTFT of U of n? What is U of n? Unit step sequence. Okay, so the DTFT of unit step sequences. So you see, this is the DTFT formula. So in the DTFT formula, we have to substitute the value of x of n. What is the x of n? U of n. U of n means, the sequence is having the amplitude 1 for the time n equal to 0 to infinity. Okay, so similar to the Z transform problem only, the DTFT problem, the relation is that in the place of Z, there will be a e power j omega term is there. Okay, so if you are solving, we will get the answer 1 by 1 minus e power minus j omega. If it is a Z transform, 1 by 1 minus Z inverse. Okay, so the answer is 1 by 1 minus e power minus j omega. This is the DTFT of u of n. Okay, so you just remember it. Then what is the DTFT of a power n u of n? Okay, so the Z transform of a power n u of n. What is the thing? Z by Z minus a, or 1 by 1 minus a into Z inverse. So the DTFT is in the place of Z, you just put e power j omega. So 1 by 1 minus a e power minus j omega. Okay, so similarly, in the DTFT formula, you just substitute the x of n value and you have to calculate. So the answer is that 1 by 1 minus a e power minus j omega. So this is the answer. Then the next one, what is the DTFT of a power minus n u of minus n minus 1? Okay, so a power minus n u of minus n minus 1 means this is the answer. A into e power j omega by 1 minus a into e power j omega. Already this problem also we solved in Z transform. In Z transform, a z divided by 1 minus a z is the answer. Okay, similarly, so in the place of z, e power j omega. That's all. Okay, so a e power j omega by 1 minus a e power j omega is the answer for the a power minus n u of minus n minus 1 problem. Okay, then the next one, what is the DTFT of the signal x of n equal to a power modulus n? Okay, so this problem we solved separately as a 8-mark question in the video. I will give a link for those videos in the description box. You can see it. So just here you see the answer. The a power modulus n we can expand as the addition of the above two problems. Okay, that is a power n u of n plus a power minus n u of minus n minus 1. So the addition of these two problem, it is nothing but a power modulus n. Okay, so the answer is that this one, 1 minus a squared by 1 plus a squared minus 2a cos omega. Okay, if you are adding these two answers, the answer for this 21st question and 22nd question, the both answer you just add, and if you are taking LCM, we will get the answer this one. Okay, then the next one, find inverse Fourier transform of x of e power j omega equal to this thing. So similar to the inverse Z transform problem just now we discussed, So similarly, in inverse Fourier transform, here the terms are in the addition of e power minus j omega, e power minus j2 omega. Like that means, so the answer inverse Fourier transform we can calculate in a EC method. Okay, so this is the actual procedure. So if you want to solve it in EC means, so you just see. So first you see here, you arrange the values in ascending order of, that is first you see first constant, then some value into e power minus j omega, then some value into e power minus j2 omega and minus j3 omega and so on. Okay, so here in order to find the inverse Z transform, first you have to note down the constant value. So what's the constant? 1. So under this constant, you just put arrow. Okay, this is the value of x of n at n equal to 0. Okay, then the next one, comma, here the negative e power is given. So that's why the answer is in the causal answer. So next we have to write down the that is the coefficient of e power minus j omega. What is the coefficient of e power minus j omega? 2. So you just write 2. Then what is the next highest order? E power minus j2 omega. What is the coefficient? 2. Then next one, e power minus j3 omega, the coefficient is 3. Okay, so that's all. Up to this, this will end it. So 1 comma 2 comma 2 comma 3, under 1 arrow is given. So 1 2 2 3. Okay, under this one the arrow will be given. Okay, this is the answer for the inverse Fourier transform. Okay, this is the actual procedure in order to solve it. The next one, what is the DTFT of x of n minus k? Okay, so in Z transform also we solved this problem. What is x of n minus k? Time shifted signal. If we want to find the answer, the Fourier transform of the time shifted signal, we have to use the time shifting property of DTFT. This property is also available in Z transform also. Okay, so the same one, the x of n minus k. Okay, k time shifted signal. If we want to find the DTFT, means the answer is that the x of e power j omega multiplied with e power minus j omega k, where k is the amount of shift. Okay, so the answer is A, x of e power j omega multiplied with e power minus j omega k. Okay, so here the minus is not given. If it is a x of n plus k, means the answer is a second one. Okay, so n minus k, so the answer is e power minus j omega k into x of e power j omega. Okay, this is the answer. So using the above problem, we have to solve this one. Obtain the Fourier transform of x of n equal to del of n minus k. So it is a shifted impulse. Okay, so in order to find out the Fourier transform of the shifted impulse, we have to use the above property, time shifting property. Okay, so for this del of n minus k, which one is a base signal? Del of n. Okay, so already you know the DTFT for del of n is 1. So according to this shifting property, so how much time this signal is shifted? K times. So del of n minus k, the DTFT answer is that 1 into e power minus j omega k. So the answer is e power minus j omega k. So A is the answer. Similarly, here in the question is that find the Fourier transform of del of n minus 1. Okay, del of n minus 1 means here e power minus j omega. The k value is 1. So e power minus j omega is the answer for del of n minus 1. Okay. Then determine the Fourier transform of x of n equal to u of n minus k. So the unit step signal shifted by k amount. Okay, so using the time shifting property only, we are going to solve. So you see, we know that the base signal u of n is having the DTFT is 1 by 1 minus e power minus j omega. Okay, then according to this time shifting property, the x of n minus k is having the DTFT answer is this one. So u of n minus k means the u of n answer multiplied with e power minus j omega k. Okay, so if you want to find the Fourier transform of u of n minus 2 means in the place of k you just put 2. So 1 by 1 minus e power minus j omega into e power minus j omega 2. Okay, that is the answer. Then the next question, what is the DTFT of x of n convolution with y of n? Okay, so already you know, if you want to find the DTFT, any transform of convolution of the two signal, we have to use the property convolution property. So this property is similar to Z transform. Okay, so in DTFT also the convolution property is that. So according to the convolution property, the time domain signal x of n convoluted with y of n, and for that convoluted answer, if you are taking DTFT, the answer is equivalent to the multiplication of individual Fourier transform. Okay, so the x of n Fourier transform, capital X of e power j omega, y of n Fourier transform, y of e power j omega, you just multiply. So the answer is that the first one, x of e power j omega into y of e power j omega. Okay, if it is a Z transform, x of z into y of z. Then the next one, what is the DTFT of x of n into y of n? Okay, this is the opposite property of this convolution. That is, the previous property is convolution in time domain. Okay, this property is multiplication in time domain, convolution in Fourier domain. Okay, this is the property. So according to this multiplication property of this DTFT, any two signal is multiplied in time domain, and if you are taking DTFT for that signal, means the answer is that we have to take convolution between the individual signal divided by 2 pi. This is the answer. So 1 by 2 pi x of e power j omega convoluted with y of e power j omega. So this is the answer. Okay, so the DTFT of x of n into y of n is 1 by 2 pi convolution between the individual thing x of e power j omega, y of e power j omega. Okay, then the next one is, which one is correct in terms of Parseval's theorem? Okay, so in Fourier transform and in the discrete time Fourier transform, the Parseval theorem is that if we want to find the energy for the discrete time signal, we have to use this Parseval theorem. So according to the Parseval theorem, the energy of the discrete signal is calculated by 1 by 2 pi integration over minus pi to pi modulus of x of e power j omega the whole squared into d omega. Okay, this is the formula. So here, which one is correct? You see, 1 by 2 pi minus pi to pi x of e power j omega the whole square into d omega. Option A is the answer. In the second one here, dn is given. This is not wrong. This is minus infinity to infinity is given. Okay. So the first one is the answer. The energy of discrete signal is calculated using this Parseval theorem. 1 by 2 pi integration over minus pi to pi x of e power j omega the whole squared into d omega. This is the Parseval's theorem. Okay, so these are all the some of the questions from this DTFT and DZ transform. Okay, so thanks for watching my channel, and please subscribe my channel for more videos. In the next video, so we will discuss with some other topics, the analysis of discrete time system using the Z transform and DTFT. Okay, thank you.